guys, and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new, then a big huge welcome to you. And I bet you're wondering, Saz, are you still here? I am still here. I'm still in the cottage, but I don't know how many more videos I'm going to be recording in the cottage, but I will have gone back home by the time this video is uploaded anyway. So yeah, I think I've got a few bits of videos coming your way in between. I don't know if those are the right words to say it, but yeah, hey ho. I wanted to record something that I've been meaning to do for a while again, but because that I had other bits and then I had other ideas, I just never got round to doing it. And there was one separate video that I was going to do, but I thought that I would include this topic into the same video. And these are two relevant topics, but I thought I would just include them together because I just wanted to talk about them in my own personal opinion. And today I'm going to be talking about camouflaging and stimming. And these are the biggest things that a person on the autistic spectrum have or are going through these things. But also these are the things that I am having a look back on because there are some bits that I don't do anymore. But I just wanted to have a sit down and reflection on them just because that I just really wanted to talk about it because I know that I have a lot to explain. So I'm going to be starting off with the camouflaging side of things because camouflaging is the biggest thing that's happening right now. Well, it's always happened to me ever since I was about 10, maybe 11, and camouflaging is something that a lot of people actually notice because some people, when they get to know me, they don't really know that I'm autistic. And so far in my life, I have interacted with people who have responded after I've said to them I'm on the autistic spectrum. They respond with words like, I would never have guessed you were autistic, you don't look autistic enough, I didn't know you were autistic, or are you sure you are autistic? So these comments are a little bit of a 50-50 balance. Some are like really negative and other ones that are like questions really, because I don't know the things that people said to me were compliments or maybe just some like surprising moments. I really don't know because I don't really read people's minds. But the main reason why I camouflage is because that I really want to fit in. When I look at myself, when I camouflage, I imagine seeing myself wearing a Greek mask, and I don't know if it's kind of like a magic trick, but it's kind of like that I'm wearing that mask so I can really just try to fit in, or maybe when I go out and about all by myself, because I do camouflage when I'm on public transport or when I'm out and about in the streets when there's no one about. I do camouflage in my house as well, especially when I'm around my own family. And I camouflage because I just want to prove that everything is alright. I smile 95% of the time, and everyone I know around me knows that every single time that I am with a person or within the group, I'm always known as the smiley one. And I always used to go in a group just saying cheerful things like, hello, how are you? Or is everything alright? And and I found that I do it so well. I've become confident with it. But the thing that really gets in the way is my main feelings. And I really don't show my main feelings to everyone because I want to prove to everyone, especially my own parents, that everything is alright. So when I cry or feel like I'm want to cry, I just hold back the tears and just swallow as much as I possibly can. And when I'm all by myself, I would just have a little bit of a cry. I know it's bad, but I think in my own mind I have to camouflage in front of everybody, because whatever the circumstances are, I need to be a strong one. I need to be a trooper, and that's the only thing that goes in my mind. And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but in some situations it can be a really bad thing. And I just don't know how to deal with emotions sometimes, because being a smiley person is dead easy, but when I feel frustrated or when I feel upset, I just don't know how to handle it too well. Because in a few situations when I actually feel upset about something or just talk to people but not in a very positive way, I always either get told off or just hold everything back until I'm all by myself. And I know it is a little bit bad really, but I know that I have to be the strong one. I need to actually feel relaxed. I need to be in my own setting, and I just need to be myself. And for me, camouflaging is being part of myself, and I know I have to get out of it at some point. When it comes to stimming, it's a little bit different, much different than some people would realise. And although I've managed to control my camouflaging very well, and I've known to do that all my life in a positive and a negative way, stimming I've rarely come in and out of. And there were some stimming habits that I came out of a little bit when I was younger, but a lot when I was getting older. And partly some of the reasons were, and this is what my mum and dad believe, one of the main reasons that I have stopped stimming most of the time was because of my epilepsy medication. And the medication that I take is lamotrigine. It's quite interesting to see that how sometimes medication can actually stop part of stimming, and I don't know if it's scientifically proven, and it's likely the case it's not, but this is a really interesting thing just to have a little think about, because I used to do a lot of stimming, and most of it was me just pottering around the house talking about doolally what comes out of my head, and mostly it was in front of other people. And everyone talks to themselves from time to time, especially some people who are not on the spectrum, but stimming when you're talking out loud to yourself, it's kind of like a repetitive thing that happens to a person on the autistic spectrum. And although I've come out of that, the main thing that I've always done, and I'm starting to realise I'm coming back into it again because I had a little bit of a gap, but the main thing that I've started to realise that I am singing quite a lot. I sing to myself and I sing in front of people, but I'm so used to that because I was in an environment where I used to perform in choirs, and I'm so used to singing in public. And every time I would sing, I would just normally sing if I'm happy. Whatever tune comes in my head, I would just sing along. But there are other times where I sing just not really out loud, but just loud when someone's next to me. And I usually do it either when I'm in the street, when I'm alone, or when I'm waiting for the bus. And I don't know if it's something that I do because I am bored, or maybe if it's something to do just because I'm feeling happy. I don't really know. But some of my loved ones found out that sometimes stimming can be just a little bit of a problem, but there are right appropriate moments and wrong appropriate moments to do that. But some people tend to focus on the wrong appropriate moments when it comes to stimming, and I used to know people who would stim a lot around the group. So it's not just singing, because in other experiences I've seen people used to rock back and forth when they are in a classroom full of people, and sometimes they would go with their hands, or maybe just shake their parts of the body just so they can feel comfortable. And that was the collaboration between camouflaging and stimming. So they're very different in their own points of view. But you have to wonder, because with the connections of the two subjects with autism, it just goes to show that sometimes a person on the autistic spectrum can camouflage their emotions, but they can stim as well, or they can do one or the other. Everyone is different, and no one should feel really ashamed about camouflaging or stimming, because if people are going to ask questions you're not feeling comfortable with, or they're going to say things that they won't like, just, I know it's frustrating and I know it's a bit of a pain, but sometimes you just have to think to yourself, are they allowing me to be me? That's a question that's really, really inside my head and my heart. There will be people who won't accept a person for who they are, but at the end of the day, it's their loss, not yours. But there are some things that people can get out of, but there are things that will be stuck with some people on the autistic spectrum. But again, you just don't really know these things, because only the person knows and experiences everything. And I know with me, I'm not going to stop camouflaging or stimming anytime soon, but I am reflecting on it more very, very deeply. And when I think about my past, when I see other people stim around me, or when I camouflage myself, or when I stim from time to time, I just really have to think, where is this coming from? But this may be a question that may be incorrectly thought of, because I don't know if it's the right question to ask myself or to ask anyone, but I just don't know these things, and there may be some few bits that can be changed in the meantime, or there might be things that are not. Again, I don't really know, but at the end of the day, you're just going to have to go what you got and just to see how everything goes. And I know that's a little bit of a rubbish end of sentence, but that's all I can think of for now. I could go on and on and on about it, but because I've made this video long enough already, I thought that it would be best just to stop the video right here. But until then, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day wherever you are in the world. And as always, keep on dreaming and never stop believing. I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.